"Do you have any expired cake?" The question hung in the air like a misplaced whisper in the middle of a loud cafe. People ordering chai lattes and birthday pastries turned their heads, eyes curious, judging. The cashier, a young woman named Emily, blinked twice, thinking she had misheard. "I'm sorry, expired," she repeated, her voice careful, unsure. The man standing in front of her shifted uncomfortably. He held the tiny hand of a girl, probably 5 or 6. The child wore a paper crown made from notebook paper, colored with crayons. It said, "Happy birthday me," in shaky letters. Her shoes were worn down, her dress clearly secondhand, but she looked up at the pastry display with pure excitement. "Daddy said I can pick any one," she said, bouncing lightly on her toes. The father swallowed, trying to maintain calm. "Yes, expired. Maybe something you can't sell anymore. I can pay a little for it. Just something for her birthday." He smiled down at the girl, his eyes filled with love and worry. Emily felt something twist in her chest. People had asked for discounts. People had complained about prices. But no one had ever asked for expired cake. She looked behind the counter at rows of beautiful, bright cakes, fresh, expensive, perfect. It felt wrong that something so simple and joyful could be out of reach for a little girl's birthday. The small child tugged gently at the man's sleeve. "Daddy, can I have the pink one with the sprinkles? It looks like princess cake." The father's smile wavered. "We'll see what they have, sweetheart." Emily glanced around. Her manager was nowhere nearby. Still, rules were rules. Expired food wasn't allowed to be given away. Liability, safety, corporate policy, all that. But something about this pair, the way the father's shoulders were tense, the way he held onto hope like a fraying rope, made her hesitate. "Let me check something," she murmured. She hurried into the back room, pretending to search. In reality, she leaned against the storage shelf, trying to collect herself. Her throat felt tight. She thought about how many times she'd thrown out pastries at closing. Perfectly good food wasted. Now here was a man begging to buy what they would toss into the trash anyway. She took a deep breath and grabbed a small pink cake, the exact one the little girl had stared at. It was fresh, it was full-priced, it was definitely not expired. When she returned, the father looked anxious, probably expecting to be turned away. The girl's hopeful eyes flickered up at Emily like tiny stars. "We don't have anything expired," Emily began carefully. She watched disappointment crash across the man's face like a wave. The child's shoulders slumped. "But," Emily placed the pink cake on the counter gently. "We do have this, and it's on the house." The father froze. "No, I can't accept charity." "It's not charity," she said firmly. "It's a birthday gift. Everyone deserves cake on their birthday." The little girl gasped, both hands flying to her mouth. "Princess cake, for me," Emily smiled. "For you." The man opened and closed his mouth, lost for words. Tears bloomed in his eyes, but he blinked them back quickly, embarrassed. He reached for his wallet, desperate to contribute something, anything. "I can pay, maybe not all of it, but something, please." Emily shook her head gently. "Honestly, it's okay, Daddy," the girl whispered, tugging at his hand again, but softer this time, not begging, just grateful. Before he could protest again, Emily came around the counter and knelt in front of the little girl. "How old are you today?" 6. The girl announced proudly, spreading her fingers wide. "Wow, that's a big number. Do you have a name, birthday girl?" "Millie," she said, "and my real birthday crown is coming later, when Daddy gets paid." She said it with certainty, the way only children could believe. Emily's smile faltered just a second. "Well, Millie, you are absolutely beautiful today. And every princess needs a cake." Millie launched forward and hugged Emily, tight, sudden, full heart. Emily laughed, caught off guard, and hugged her back. The father cleared his throat. "Thank you," he said, voice rough. I didn't want her to know we're struggling right now." Emily stood and looked at him directly. "You're doing your best. She can see that." He swallowed again, hard. "Her mom, she passed away last year. Cancer. I'm still learning how to do it all. Birthdays, smiles, magic." Emily's heart cracked. She had no words good enough, so she offered the only one that mattered. "You're not alone." "Not today." She boxed up the cake, tied it with a pink ribbon she found near the register, and placed a small candle inside the bag. "On the house," she repeated softly. The father stared at the box, his expression a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "Thank you," he said again. You have no idea what this means. Before they left, Millie looked at the menu board and pointed. What's a marshmallow, hot chocolate? She sounded out slowly. Emily couldn't help chuckling. It's delicious. Do you want to try some? The father immediately shook his head. No, really, you've already done more than enough. But Emily was already making one. Warm, sweet, topped with a swirl of whipped cream and a sprinkle of chocolate shavings. When she handed it over the counter, Millie's jaw dropped. For me, Emily winked. Princess privilege. Millie held the cup like a treasure. Daddy, look, it's like in cartoons. The father closed his eyes briefly, like he was absorbing the moment, freezing it into memory. When they walked out, Emily watched them go. The bell chimed, cold air rushed in, and the cafe's chatter swallowed everything again. But Emily remained still, a bittersweet warmth filling her chest. She thought that was the end of it. She was wrong. 3 months passed. Life moved quickly, but that moment stayed with her, a small ache, a small light. Then one late evening, as she wiped down the counter before closing, she heard the bell ring. She sighed, probably another customer wanting a last-minute pastry. She turned, and saw Millie. Her hair was longer now, still wild and curly. She no longer wore a paper crown, instead, a glittery silver one sat proudly on her head. The father stood behind her, looking healthier, rested, hopeful. Millie ran up to the counter and placed something wrapped in tissue paper in front of Emily. For you, Emily blinked. For me, Millie nodded so hard her crown nearly slipped. Because you gave me the bestest birthday ever. Emily carefully unwrapped the paper. Inside was a hand-drawn picture. Emily in her cafe apron, handing Millie a pink cake. Above them were uneven crayon letters. Thank you, Miss Emily. Her throat tightened. This is beautiful, Millie. Thank you. The father stepped forward. We came to tell you some good news, he said. I got a steady job. Full-time. A friend finally gave me a chance. Emily's face lit up. That's amazing, he nodded, emotion shimmering behind his eyes. I'm starting to get things on track. And I wanted you to know that your kindness, it mattered. You didn't just give her cake that day. You gave me a reminder that the world hasn't completely turned its back on us. Emily pressed the picture to her chest, overwhelmed. You both gave me something too, she said. You reminded me that what we do every day, even the small things, can change someone's life. Millie leaned over the counter to whisper, Daddy even bought me real princess shoes now. He chuckled softly. She insisted on wearing them for you. Emily laughed through the tears. They're perfect. There was a pause, warm, full. The father cleared his throat again, nervous. I was wondering if maybe I could take you out for coffee sometime. To say thank you properly. Emily's eyes widened. Her heart fluttered in surprise. She glanced at Millie, who grinned like this was the best plot twist ever. I think I would like that, Emily said with a smile. Millie clapped her hands. See, Daddy, I told you she likes happiness. They all laughed. For Emily, it became clear that the moment she stepped away from the register that afternoon, when she chose compassion over rules, she wasn't just giving away a cake. She was giving a little girl a memory of joy. She was giving a grieving father hope. And unknowingly, she was opening a door to something new for herself too. A tiny gesture, a huge difference, one act of kindness that changed 3 lives. Later that night, after they left, Emily hung the drawing on the staff bulletin board. A few coworkers asked about it, and she told them the story, not the sad parts, but the beautiful ones. By closing time, 3 extra bags of pastries were set aside near the sink. We throw them out anyway, one coworker shrugged. And maybe someone else could use a little kindness, another added. Emily smiled at the picture again. Millie had drawn bright yellow light around her, like a superhero. Maybe we're all superheroes, she thought. Just not the kind with capes. But the kind who sees someone struggling and decides to help anyway. The kind who understands that even a simple birthday cake can save a heart that's hurting. The kind who believes that kindness isn't wasted. Ever.